Hi friends, if I look busted right now, it's because that's how I feel on the inside. Because what I look like on the outside is a direct reflection of my mental health. Anyway, I posted a poll on Instagram asking what people want to see and what type of videos people want to see me make. And an overwhelming majority of you, the two people who actually responded, said that they wanted to see day in the life videos. One, I have anxiety. I am not gonna take my camera outside and film myself in the motherfucking grocery store or shit like that. Two, I barely leave my house during the week. I just got Life 360 so that when my friends and I are drunk, then we don't have to text each other that we made it home, because we usually just fall asleep, but then no one's panicking. So I can just see when my besties get home or when they leave their house and get to work, because it has the little location saved. Not sponsored. But the only problem with that is it also tells you how long you've been in a certain place. So mine constantly says Claire has been at Claire's home since Sunday evening at 6 p.m. and it's a Friday afternoon. It's fine. I like my house. That's why I stay here. Anyway, so I decided to do kind of a day in the life video because this shit happens way too often than I'd like to admit. But here is times that I was violently humbled. Starting off strong, my bestie and I went out for a little boogie, a little drink a few weeks ago, and we made the mistake of going to a not homosexual bar, and we were surrounded in a sea of men, and then I turn around. I see a bun and an undercut. I run. I'm sprinting. She's a runner. She's a track star. Are you gay? Obviously, they're a little bit concerned because we're looking our full femme best, and they feel like they're about to get hate crimed. But no, they say, yeah, why? We say, we are too, and we're having a great time, or so I thought, and I asked if they wanted to be friends. No. So we found the only other gay people in a straight bar, and they did not want to hang out with us. That was awkward. But it gets worse. There were also some men who wanted to dance with us. They kept telling my friend to smile, which was really fucking infuriating. And then one of them even tried to pick me up. I don't know if he was trying to take home a souvenir or, I don't know, hit his sales target for the month. But nonetheless, he tried to pull a dirty dancing on me, and I said, get back, do not touch me. This man looks at me, because obviously he's a man of physical actions and not many words, and he just says, big forehead. Like, I know it's true, but you don't have to say it. And obviously, with a forehead this big and you expect me not to be self-aware, sir, think again. So that was a time that I was violently humbled. And then another time when we were actually in a gay bar, or lesbian beach party as we like to call it. There's a specific party that happens once a month, and it's a night for basically all the ladies, gaydies, and theydies, minus men, and there's usually not a lot of prospects, if I'm being honest. We just go because it's a safe space. I still have not found a wife at one of these parties. Do I still continue to go? Yeah. Am I always disappointed? Yeah. But we go to this last party, and I spoke to one person. One person. And I went up to her in the club, and I was like, oh my god, love your outfit, like whatever, giving very much limp wrist. And she was like, thanks so much, like, do you want some glitter? And I was like, fuck yeah, I love glitter. I must be the sparkliest bitch in the city, always. You should see me glimmering a la Cullen family from miles away. So I'm like, yeah, of course, glitter me up. And she takes glitter, dumps it on her hands, and rubs it on my chest. So I was like, ooh, spicy. All right, Yeah, thinking she's gonna hit me with a, do you wanna go to the bathroom? Or what's your number? Can I have your Instagram at least? No. She gives me her phone, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting somewhere. Asks me to take pictures of her. And like the recovering people pleaser that I am, I get down on the ground and I get those angles. Were they probably all blurry? Yeah. Did she deserve it? Yeah. Also, one time someone came up to my sister and I and made a comment, and he was talking to her, like whatever, turns to me, he's like, oh, you have beautiful eyes. And I'm like, thanks, cool. And he was like, yeah, but you have no lips. He's like, y'all both have beautiful eyes, but you got no lips. Another time, unrelated to my physical appearance, so constantly, since I've been living in Berlin, I don't tell people that I'm from the US, I tell people I'm from Canada. And before I had a full-fledged backstory, including where I'm from, you know, how I got to Berlin from Canada, like why I don't have an accent if someone mentions that, choosing a small enough Canadian town that nobody has any connections there, right? So in the beginning, I was dumb enough to tell people I was from Quebec. Do I speak French? No. I don't even know where Quebec is, okay? So I could have said something closer to Detroit, and then I could have said, like, I could have used my bestie's location, the neighborhood that she lives in Detroit. Like, there's so many other places I could have gone with that, right? So no, I was panicking in the grocery store line, and I was buying organic groceries for my au pair family when I was in au pair, and the guy checking me out was like, oh, like, where are you from? And I was like, first of all, let's not make conversation while we're checking out. I don't know if anybody is blessed with having been to a German grocery store and the experience that is, but let me tell you, traumatizing. They are scanning shit like the world is ending. Like, you gotta put your shit in your bag, you're scanning your card at the same time, making polite conversation. I don't know how these people do it. I've been here 3 years and I still cannot get it down. I specifically walked 20 minutes out of my way to go to a grocery store that has self-checkout so I can avoid this whole thing. Heightens my anxiety every time. So while I'm stress scanning my items, this cashier decides to make some friendly conversation. Oh, like, where are you from? Blah, 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 blah. Canada, right? So then he switches to English, and he was like, oh, where in Canada? I was like, I panic. The first city that I think of. God forbid, why was it Quebec? Quebec, yeah. Oh, okay, switches to French. I'm standing there, a fish fresh out of water. I'm like, oui? And he was like, oh, you don't speak French? And I was like, no. And he was like, but isn't Quebec like part of Canada that speaks French? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, so why don't you speak French? I was like, I never learned, and that's where I'm from. And I was like making up some weird backstory of how my parents moved there when I was a kid and I learned German in school. I don't know, I'm sinking deeper and deeper, and the total just keeps going up. I don't even know at this point if I have the money to pay for these organic groceries. So he's scanning the carrots, he's scanning the peppers, interrogating me about my life. I'm in the hot seat, I'm sweating. You know, my vision is slowly blacking in. I honestly don't even remember how I got myself out of that situation. I just know I threw some money at him and I ran. And you know what? Till the end of my au pair year, I avoided that grocery store. They were like, oh, Claire, nope. Can you get groceries? Nope. Nope. Can I go to Edeka? Because I'm not going back there. I don't care if it's organic or not. We're all suffering in this household. Additionally, a fun story that everybody loved was the worst date I've ever been on, so my last video. But a time during that whole experience that I was humbled was when the day that we were supposed to meet, we were texting before we met up, and I made like a joke because I was like, you know what, she's gonna learn my true personality in a few hours. Let's not hide it any longer. Let's not people please any further than we have to. and I made a joke, and I think I spelled something wrong, so I corrected my mistake, and she was like, "Oh, you're fine." And I was like, haha, fine or fine, with like a lot of I's, and she was like, fine, with one I. That was probably when I knew it was going downhill. I should have stayed home. Anyway, last but certainly not least, last week on my clothing Instagram, because I have to occupy myself with 37 forms of media at a time, and I like to use social media not for fun, but as folders. So everything has its own specific place of where it needs to be. I love deleting things. So when I was on my one of 27 Instagram accounts, which so happened to be my clothing and makeup Instagram, linked in my Instagram bio if anyone's curious. I was on my clothing Instagram and I posted a picture of my outfit for the last lesbian beach party that we went to, and a man slid in my DMs, and this is not uncommon, unfortunately. And you know, reading comprehension is not a skill that is prioritized in school these days, so I was just under the assumption that it was the same type of DM that I usually get from these men. So this man slides in my DMs, and he was like, he messages me in German, and what he said, translated, he was like, "Oh, Claire, are you from Berlin or are you just visiting?" First of all, there are other options. Second of all, when have I ever written in German on this page? Like, anyway, so I respond and I said, "Not interested is what I am." And he messages me back in English, and I also flamed him on my Instagram story. And I posted a screenshot of our messages, and I was like, wow, again, reading comprehension is not a valuable skill apparently these days. If you don't understand what the word lesbian means, please stop DMing me on my Instagram account for clothes. It's weird. It's getting weird. So I posted that. He responds to me in English, but then by the time he responds to me, he's seen the Instagram story. So he responds to me and he says, "Oh, you understand German?" And then immediately after he says, "Oh, I wasn't interested in you for personal reasons. I was contacting you about a very special business opportunity, but your mindset is clearly not right for this position. Good luck." And I don't feel bad about this one, because he misspelled your, and he also had a very like entrepreneur type of Instagram. So I had like the stuck emojis and the flying money bags and shit. So I know I wasn't really missing out on his MLM opportunity, but still humbled nonetheless that they always have to hit you when you say, "I'm gay, I will never be interested in you," and then they hit you with the, "Oh, but I wasn't interested in you personally. You're not even that attractive." So it's always a fun conversation to have. Don't you love men? Yeah, but this is a very non-exhaustive list of all the times that I've been violently humbled, because, sorry to say, it does happen daily. I've just learned to black out those memories. So if I think of any more, there will definitely be a part 2 to this video. But until then, keep letting me know in what embarrassing ways I can spill my guts to the internet. Have a lovely weekend, everyone.